Hey guys, it's Tuesday morning. Hope all of you are doing okay with all the rain and wind and all the shit going on. This is Mom's house. That's the West Branch of the Rocky River. And that's the backyard. The power's off right now, and we don't have a battery backup sump pump, so I'm going to, hopefully we're not too zoomed in here. I got this little trash pump, and I've got two more at the shop. Run a hose down through the basement window into the sump, and then we'll connect it up to the suction side, and I'll show you guys how to prime this up and get her going here in a minute. So I'm going to get this all hooked up, and we'll go from there. Okay, I got you guys set up here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm zoomed in a little. Got a plug right here on top. That's how you prime the pump. So we're going to do that first. I don't know if my gas can's in the picture, but you can maybe see it says mix on it. This is not a 2-cycle engine, but it's what's in the truck, and it'll be just marvelous. Find the end of my hose here, and we'll put some more in. You really don't want to run these pumps dry. This particular pump is not a run dry style. I think we bought this pump when I was probably in 3rd or 4th grade. Because our other one wasn't running when we needed it. So it's been around for a while, but I had 2 even newer ones. This one took a crap one time, and we bought another one. And this one just wouldn't have any suction, and we wanted a backup, so I rebuilt the pump in this one. So this one works good now. It doesn't take much to pump the water out. This is only a 3-horse, but right now the water's really not coming in. It's just the fact that the sump is not running, so the drains are not taking the water. Hopefully that gas isn't too rancid that's in there. Okay. Let's see if I'll make it work. This one probably going to start. Let's see what happens. Little choke. Stop is off. Idle on. Oop, hey now. Enough to keep up. hear that pump probably cavitate here in a second when it sucks it dry. But yeah, that's what we got going on. Thank God for a waterproof camera. Go downstairs and check and make sure that's not running too fast or too slow, so I'll turn you back on in a minute. Okay guys, we're in the basement. I don't know if you can see, but obviously we have no power, so we got the mag light going here. Oh, starting to suck air a little bit for a second. Hopefully that won't cause it to lose suction outside and lose its prime. I've got that machine idling almost as slow as it'll go, just enough to keep up with the water coming in. You can see got water coming in that footer tile right there. That one back in the back corner, which I don't even think we can see, it's got roots all over it. I don't even think that one works anymore. But got water coming in over here, squirting up through the cracks. This is kind of what we deal with. You can see my hose going up and out the window here. Thank God it's almost 50 degrees out. I hate leaving the window open, but that's what I got to do for now. So I'm going to go idle that thing down even more, and we'll catch up with you later. Oh yeah, Velvet's back. Here we go. I'll give you guys a quick run around of the hood. There you go. You can see the river running through it in the background. And actually, we can't see it from here, but this was a major concern a couple years ago when it flooded in the wintertime. Tell you what happened. Let's see if we can see that little building there. I don't know if you can see the tree behind it, and there's a hill back there. That hill is a dam for Lake Medina Reservoir. And around from the spillway there's a little dam, and that broke. And we got a little bit of water out of it. It wasn't a major one, a major breach, but it was like the fucking storm of the century here. I mean, I lived here up until 10 years ago or so with my folks, and every year we'd have a little flood and we'd have to pump water to assist the sump pump out of the basement. But now, I mean, they've done some goofy shit around here. We're getting water coming up in the front yard, which we never really had much of. I have some old VHS video from back in the early 90s. We had a thaw, and this whole backyard was icebergs. And my neighbor, who's passed away now, he was sitting on that porch over there and had a fishing rod in his hand and making sort of a comedy video saying he was ice fishing. It was some funny stuff. But that was many, many moons ago. And we haven't had a flood like that in the wintertime in a long time. You know, you have an extreme thaw and then all that ice starts breaking apart. I started getting up leaves here, and it looks like Mother Nature might take care of most of the rest of this disaster. One thing I needed to do, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I had this, we had to have a tie-in to the city sewer. The septic was done, giving us lots of problems, so we had to tie in. Well, this is all bare dirt all the way out to the ditch where the sewer line is, where it's tied in. And I tried to get in here and grade it about a month ago, and it didn't look that bad, and evidently it had rained the day before and I didn't know it. I don't live that far away from here, and I work in this area, and I couldn't understand what was going on, and I brought the skid loader in here, and that motherfucker went out of sight. As you can see right there from those big old ruts. So I put the kibosh on that and said no more of that. So I'll give you a little look-see of the other side of the front yard, the east side. And the farthest end of that puddle over by that little embankment, that's where the septic or the sewer line comes up, and there's actually development up the street. That was the reason that this sewer went in. it goes up and the pipe goes over the river. Now, explain to me if this isn't maybe one of the craziest things you've ever seen. There's probably a reason for it. Some engineer had some figuring in why the pipe went over the river and not under the river. I'm not an engineer, so I can't speculate, but I can tell you from experience what happens. This bridge isn't very high anyway, and I can't see it through the trees, but there's our city water treatment plant. And there's a dam over there, a short one, but it's real silted in behind the dam, so water comes over it pretty quick. You can see there ain't much room under this bridge, and this bridge has been redone since my parents moved here in '71, and used to be a little one-lane bridge, but it's, you know, it stood the test of time here. This bridge is, well, 4 years older than I am, so 41 years old. Anyway, get back to the sewer pipe here. Let's back out the zoom. Okay, we can see the distance. We got about 40 feet, maybe 30 feet between that pipe and the end of that bridge. Well, take a guess what happens. All the shit that gets under the bridge gets hung up under that fucking pipe right there. Trees, debris, whatever. All the shit that's associated with the flood. Therefore, it comes from there, comes over the top of this mountain that I'm standing on, and funnels it right through the front yard, right down along that side of the house. And that side of the house is where the water came in 2 years ago when we had that nasty flood. Right through them fucking windows. So we had the old metal, I don't know what you call them, awning type windows, coal chute windows, whatever. We had 2 glass blocks in right on that corner there originally, but the rest of them were all the old style, you know, tilt out windows, or they tilted in. And I replaced those this past spring with vinyl replacement windows. Zoom back out here. So hopefully if the water does get that high, it'll seal it in the goddamn windows. Because we don't need any bullshit like that again. But we can see, I mean, even though the river is, make sure that's zoomed all the way out, what's that, 20 feet from there to there? Back up a little more, it ain't that wide. That's basically the edge of the riverbank. This river is probably 50, 60 feet wide. It normally doesn't come up that high, and we're talking probably a 2-foot change in grade between the top of that bank and the side of this house. Unfortunately, when my folks moved in here in 1971, this river was about 25 feet wide. It is double in width and double in depth in that 41 years. So this is the top of the banks to the bottom of the riverbed is probably 12 feet. And we've got riprap, broken concrete all along the banks, which you can't see because it's all in the water now. And I did that over the years because it just kept eroding and eroding and eroding. And the far side there, which is part of the access to the reservoir that's behind us, was always riprapped. While all it did was chew into our banks. Hey, look, we got trees fucking leaning here. Hopefully those pieces of shit go in this flood. I'd like to see that fucking sycamore back there go too. Got a couple of them, and used to have some black walnuts here. We got one right in front of my face there. One there. Hold on, I'm gonna squeegee you guys off. A little focus here. Hey, there's another black walnut. Anyways, I'm gonna cut you guys loose. It's fucking cold standing out here. I don't want to deal with this anymore, but I got to, so I'm gonna go ditch the air compressor. Oh yeah, I was blowing out sprinklers this morning in this garbage. But now it's time to babysit a trash pump until the power comes back on. If I was a smarter man, I'd go up to the big box store and buy a battery backup sump pump and install it. I don't feel like dicking around with that shit today, or ever. Hoping to not have to pump much water hopefully this will just be a passing thing and we can get the power back on. At any rate, that's where we're at. Take it easy, guys. I'll catch you later. See ya. Oh, why not? This seems appropriate. I'll show you guys what the rest of the damn street looks like. Oh, yeah. We got some water. Now you won't see any for another 30 seconds here. Well, you might see it back there. Nope. I'm driving too fast. I got cars behind me. You'll see it when I get up to the next bridge here. Oh yeah, baby, this is the fun stuff. What else would I be doing this week? It's raining, I sure as hell ain't working. Besides blowing out a couple sprinkler systems. Yep, power's still out, lights are flashing. They're on battery backup. So this bridge is much higher, but that's all flooded down there. We got a four-way stop evidently here. Even though that's flashing amber on the other side. There's that. You can't really see it flooded down in there. Be a little moist. My wife lost power at her office today. She works half a day at the county health department afternoons. She closed her office early, and this one's completely out. People don't know what the fuck to do. So hopefully they keep power there, or it's going to be a wash for both of us today. I know a lot of our school was canceled today just because I think of the chance of the power outage and the flooding and the danger of putting buses on the road, probably more than anything. It was windier and a son of a bitch this morning, but the wind is sort of subsiding. I watched a little bit of the weather and on Weather Channel to see where the storm actually hit, and I never really figured it out. But I'm thinking up toward Massachusetts and Rhode Island and DC and all around there really getting their asses kicked. So all you guys on the East Coast, the ones I can think of off the top of my head, Milrick, Rich, I hope you're okay. Sodajet Rich, I hope you're okay. Where you're at, I don't know how close you are to the ocean, but I'm sure that you guys are getting really, really blasted over there, so I hope you're okay. I'm trying to think of who else is over that direction. Those are the first two that come to my mind, so anybody else, be safe out there. Don't be driving through any standing water that is more than foot deep, because you have no idea. Over at my mom's place a couple years ago when we had that flood, it was washing out underneath the road, and we ended up having a big spot cave in right in front of her driveway, maybe 20 yards in front of her driveway, or 15 yards in front of her driveway. And I was driving through it, and the township fire department was giving me shit. I know all the guys, and I'm like, listen, you got a job to do, and I appreciate it, but my mom was stuck in her house, and if we'd have waited any longer, we might have lost the house. I had to start pumping water and had to get mama out, so it is what it is. Alright, I'm really going to cut you guys loose now, because this is going to be one long son of a bitch. Hope you're not bored to death. Take care.